Welcome to our explainer. We're going to tackle a really counterintuitive idea today. The kind of thing that sounds completely backward at first. And it's this. To finally get a handle on anxiety and feel better, you might actually have to let go of control. And let's just start right here with this feeling. This quote says it all, doesn't it? The concept of letting go of control is horrifying. I mean, so many of us get that on a deep level. When you feel like you're spinning out, your first instinct is to grab on tighter, right? To control everything. But what if that fight, that desperate need to control, is the very thing pouring fuel on the fire? So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle that fear of losing control. Then, we'll get into your body's survival mode. We'll look at the anxiety feedback loop, the trap of false control, and finally, how to actually practice letting go. All right, let's jump right in. Section 1, the fear of losing control. And let's be super clear about this from the get-go. This feeling, it's not all in your head. It feels real because, on a certain level, it is real. The physical sensations are powerful, and we have to start by just acknowledging that. So this brings us to the big question, the central paradox we're trying to figure out today. Why is it that fighting for control so often makes anxiety even worse? I mean, it goes against every instinct we have, right? If you're losing your grip, you should grip harder. But we're about to see why, with anxiety, that instinct can backfire big time. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about your body. Think of it as this incredible top-of-the-line survival machine, honed over millions of years. And here's the key. The problem isn't that your body is broken or failing you. Not at all. It's that its internal alarm system, well, it can be a little too good at its job. And that brings us to these symptoms. I bet a lot of you recognize some of these. The pounding heart, the dizziness, the shaking, sweaty palms, feeling like you can't get a full breath, that strange, scary sense of unreality. They can hit you out of nowhere, and man, they feel terrifying, like your body is completely betraying you. But this right here, this is maybe the single most important idea we're going to talk about. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of survival. Let that sink in. Those terrifying symptoms aren't your body losing control. It's the complete opposite. It's your body being in perfect control, running an ancient, flawless program designed to save your life. So where does it all start? Deep in your brain, you've got this little thing called the amygdala. Think of it as your own personal smoke detector. It's super fast, and its job is to scan for danger. The problem is, sometimes it gets it wrong. It mistakes something harmless, like a crowded room or just a weird thought, for a real life or death threat. And when that false alarm goes off, boom, it floods your system with adrenaline. And this chart breaks it down perfectly. Look at this. That pounding heart, that's your body pumping extra blood to your big muscles, so you can either run away or fight. The dizziness or that feeling of unreality, that's your liver releasing sugar into your bloodstream for a quick energy boost. Shaking hands, well, that's blood moving away from your fingers and into your biceps and thighs. Even the shortness of breath is your body gearing up for action. See? It's not random. It's not failure. It's a perfect, coordinated survival response to a danger that isn't actually there. Okay, so we have this perfectly designed survival response that's been triggered by a false alarm. Now we're going to see how that creates this nasty feedback loop, a vicious cycle. This is what makes it feel like it's spinning out of control, getting worse and worse by the second. So here's how it works. Step 1, some trigger happens. Step 2, your body goes into survival mode and you get that adrenaline dump. But then step 3 is the crucial one. Your thinking mind notices these intense feelings and gets scared. It misinterprets them and thinks, oh no, my heart is beating so fast, I must be having a heart attack. That scary thought in step 4 just creates more fear, which of course tells your brain the danger is real, so it releases even more adrenaline. And around we go, faster and faster. And these are what we call negative automatic thoughts. They're the mental fuel that keeps this fire burning. They just pop in your head, they feel 100% true, and they're based on misinterpreting what's happening in your body. It's funny, right? Your rational brain knows that a pounding heart after you run up the stairs is totally normal. But the anxious brain feels that exact same sensation and takes it as proof that something catastrophic is about to happen. This leads us to the trap of false control. Because what's our natural instinct when all this is happening? We fight it. We try to force ourselves to calm down, to stop the feelings. But ironically, that struggle is exactly what keeps us stuck in the loop. It's a totally exhausting battle, and we're fighting it on the wrong front. At the very heart of this problem is something called the illusion of control. It's this deep-seated belief that we can and should have power over things we just don't. We think if we just worry more, or analyze more, or fight the feelings harder, we can somehow prevent bad things from happening. But you can't control an adrenaline rush with thoughts any more than you can stop your heart from beating by yelling at it. It just doesn't work. And this comparison makes it so clear. Look at the stuff on the left. Outcomes, other people, your body's automatic functions, the future. You can't really control any of that, can you? Now look at the right. Your reactions, your focus, your choices, your attitude. That is where your power truly lies. The whole game is about shifting your energy and your effort from that left-hand column over to the right. So if fighting is the wrong strategy, what's the right one? What's the alternative? Well, that brings us to our final section, a whole new strategy. It's not about fighting harder. It's about learning the skill of letting go. I love this quote. Hold what you want lightly, not tightly. It just perfectly captures this idea. Because letting go does not mean you don't care. It's not apathy. It's about releasing that tight, white-knuckled, desperate grip on trying to control things that are fundamentally uncontrollable. And this is a really important point. Letting go isn't about trying to silence your thoughts or stop your feelings. We know that doesn't work. In fact, it usually makes them scream louder. It's more about changing the way you listen to them. Think of your anxiety like a radio that's blasting static. You can't smash the radio, but you can learn to just turn the volume down and focus on the actual music playing in the room. So how do you actually do this? Here's a super simple 3-step practice you can try. First, just acknowledge. Notice what's happening without judging it. Just say to yourself, okay, my heart is pounding, I'm feeling anxiety. That's it. Second, focus. Gently bring your attention to something physical and neutral, like the feeling of your breath going in and out. And third, expand. Widen your awareness back out to include your whole body, just letting those anxious feelings be there without fighting or fixing them. You're basically sending a new message to your brain. Hey, this is uncomfortable, but it's not actually dangerous. And this is why this whole thing is such a game changer. The benefits of learning to let go are huge. Yeah, it reduces stress and anxiety, for sure. But it's so much more than that. When you stop wasting all that energy trying to control the uncontrollable, you free it up for everything else. For better relationships, for creativity, for just handling whatever life throws at you. You become more resilient, more balanced. So, let's end with this question. I know we started with the idea that letting go feels horrifying, but what if we could flip that script? What if letting go isn't about loss at all? What if it's about freedom? Just think, what could you do? What could you achieve if you weren't so exhausted from fighting that impossible battle for control all the time?